Welcome back. And as you can see, a former guest has joined us. One that was a little bit closer to the pond a couple of weeks ago when he was one of the big guests at For the Love of Horror. This is Mr. Ken Kirzinger. Welcome back.
Hello, hello. Good to be back.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you back on. I know we tried to line it up before the convention, but the old Jeff Goldblum saying life gets in the way.
Yes, yes. Things got busy and things happened, but we finally made it.
That's
Here
it.
we are. Yeah,
Absolutely. You're back home after the convention run.
I am. I am. Since then, though, I took a trip to Iceland on the way home, and then after that, I was home for a little bit, and I went down to Los Angeles to see Robert Englund get his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, you went down to that, did you?
I did. Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Nice, nice.
we've been seeing each other for years, and I'll never forget Robert telling me the first time I met him. He goes, "Well, we'll be seeing each other for the rest of our lives." And I said, "Why is that?" And he goes, "Conventions. They'll tell you all about it." And
It's
yeah,
it's funny actually. I that you said that exact thing on the panel
yeah,
at For the Love of Horror.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you said that to me the last time we spoke. But yeah, like we were only saying there was a few of us talking. If you could live off one movie, right, and you could live off conventions for the rest of your life, and it's a great time, isn't it? Now, obviously, you've not lived off just one movie,
yeah. No, no.
but
But it so amazes me that, and something that I've learned that people, uh, uh, um, what do you call it when they imprint on a movie? And
yeah,
so many of the fans I meet they're generational now. You've got little kids up to people my own age and older who have watched this movie and have turned it on to other people, and they've turned it on to other people, and so it's a generational thing now. But it's just that one out of all the hundreds of projects that I've worked on, that's the one that people latch onto, and I know it's because of the character, Jason.
yeah, the
And
iconic character.
yeah, it is. And it's funny, people have just, even the last few years have just become more nostalgic about it. And yeah,
I think I said it the last time. I was 12 going to see that in the cinema. Now,
yeah.
there's no way in hell I should have been going to see that in the cinema, but um, when you know people and you can get in, it's great.
Yeah,
But like obviously, Nightmare on Elm Street's my favorite horror film. Um, first real horror film that I ever remember watching.
right.
And it'll never change. Like that's number one, and that's it.
You imprinted on it.
That's it's
Yeah.
just going to be till the end of time. Yeah.
It
Like
could be a,
it
I was
holds
saying,
my favorite. It holds my favorite scene in film history where he comes out in the alleyway like this.
yeah.
That's my favorite scene in film.
Well, funny enough, the special effects guy that worked on Jason Takes Manhattan, which I worked on, he did the special effects for the Elm Street movie. And I remember him explaining some of the scenes, like the mirror scene where the hands come out of the mirror, or Freddy comes out of the mirror, and that was, done with mercury. Like you would never get away with having
Well,
that.
that's safe.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, I think back to the first movie I ever worked on, Superman 3, and they were burning car tires for the ambient smoke. Uh,
Right?
we'd never get away with these days. So things change over time.
Polluting the finest.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I remember, because I remember I worked like 3, 4 days on it, and every day there'd be soot around my nose, because you're inhaling this stuff. And of course, things have changed. Sets have gotten safer.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's only for the best as well, though, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you're doing that every day, I don't think you make uh too
Might
many
not make
movies before you get
it.
sick.
Exactly, exactly.
But obviously you went on to do. You said you worked on Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, I can honestly say I think I've only seen that film once.
Hmm.
Um, Now I've seen Freddy versus Jason about 4 million times. Um,
Yeah.
but I am now in the process of going back to watch the whole Friday the 13th series.
Oh yeah.
Um, I'm gonna try and I don't know what the right word is, rekindle something for the franchise. I kind of got bored of it when I was younger. You know, it was that kind of thing. But like
Yeah.
you got to don the mask that so many others would give their right arm to do. No pun intended.
No, I know. It was just my resume sort of took me in that direction, and fate brought me back in to, for the Freddy versus Jason interview, which I interviewed to be the stunt coordinator on. And some good karma. And they asked me if I wanted to audition for Jason, and I didn't really even know that it was that big a deal until we were making the movie. I've told this story, but I'm not on social media, so my it was my family that told me. They were, hey Ken, people are really taking notice of this. It's all over the place. And then gradually I found out what a huge deal it was, and it wasn't really for years and years later that I found out exactly how lucky I was to do it. But certainly at the time it was a surprise to me that it was such a big deal. I hadn't learned yet that fans will glom onto,
Oh,
certain characters and follow them to the ends of the earth. And Jason Voorhees is one of those.
now a little shout out to my buddy Aaron Lockhart. He's the biggest Jason fan I know.
Oh yeah.
Um, like he makes all the custom masks and stuff. Like he's just a Jason mad. And I told him we were doing this, and he was like, "Fuck off." um, but yeah, so like the character itself is so good. Like I have a big Jason tattoo on my arm. It was the first part of the horror sleeve that I got because it just
Yeah.
made sense to put it where it went. But the character itself became iconic for the look. Like it could really be anybody, but everybody brought their own difference to the character. Obviously, like the likes of Kane came in and when Derek took over in 2009, I think it
Yeah.
was the remake, like the viciousness level went up. But I always loved the between Kane's Jason X and Freddy versus Jason's style of Jason was completely different. So
Yeah.
it was kind of mixed match. I was like, oh, I do like that one where he has a bit more loving in him in Freddy vs. Jason, where he's more of the good guy.
Yeah. That
Um,
was completely unintentional in Freddy versus Jason, that Jason turned out to be like, if you ask the writers, that was unintentional. It was just, Freddy is just such an evil, much more evil character, really, in the fact that he's, a child killer.
yeah,
And you just can't have that person win. They can win the battle, but not the war, kind of thing. But if we did another one, I'm sure they'd find a way for Freddy to win. But when you're battling such an evil character, Jason just sort of came off as the anti-hero in it.
yeah, and I mean, like, it's not as if he was a stonewall good guy either, protecting everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but like, you do find that, and it is quite a big thing in horror where you resonate to the bad guy. Like
Yeah.
for me, I go into every slasher movie going, yeah, I can't wait to see people getting fucked up here.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I mean, there is certainly something. I think one of the things that makes Jason attractive to people as an anti-hero is the fact that a lot of people carry around, I think we all carry around childhood trauma kind of thing, and or, somebody pissed us off, or, whatever. And Jason is this person who, he sort of kills for a reason, but not really, but because he was, bullied as a child, and
yeah,
abused as a child. People that resonates with some people, right? It's like a little revenge. They get to have revenge vicariously through Jason.
I get that too, and I think obviously the story had to be so much more different because obviously Freddy's was it's coming back to enact revenge on the people's kids who did it to him. Where
Hmm.
Jason's mom took out the counselors, and then it was just counselor after counselor for no reason. Now,
Yeah,
all the while it was fun and it was great to see.
yeah,
I mean, and it gave us some great kills and like and you get to kill Kelly Rowland. That was pretty fun. Um, that was a good one.
I never understood why when I swipe at the guy in the hallway, I cut him in half, but when I hit her with the machete, she goes flying into a tree.
Yeah, I always wondered that as well, and I was like, is that just something different? Or then I read an online theory that when you hit her, you turn the blade
Blade.
to the side so that she flies into the tree and gets it worse.
I don't remember us using that logic when we did it, but I just remember that seemed a little bit odd to me that she would go flying and the other guy would get chopped so nicely in half.
That
But
one, that one in the hall, that one in the hallway of the mental institution was brilliant though,
yeah,
with the two tramadol or whatever he gives, the two
yes,
injections.
yeah, yeah,
Brilliant. And it
yeah.
just looked so slick.
It was a great scene, wasn't it? It worked out really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. There was some really good moments. And like, I know the movie itself probably gets slated a bit more from non horror fans if they watch it the first time. But for horror fans, that was just off the charts good.
It was, I think a lot of people had been waiting, ever since the glove grabbed the mask and pulled it down.
The
I
Jason
remember,
Goes to Hell.
I remember seeing that going, oh, wow, they're going to put them together in a movie. And that was 10 years before we did Freddy versus Jason. Because they're working on the right script and everything. But so it was so anticipated, everybody was waiting for it. Anybody that was a horror fan was waiting for it.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first real big crossover. That one moment, in Jason Goes to Hell, and then yeah, that was what 94, maybe 93, and then it was 02 when this was filmed, and 03 when it came out. Um, but like I remember, like even as I was saying, I was 12 when I seen it. Like I remember the ads for it. I used to hang around in a video shop
Yeah.
and like the ads on the telly, and then there was the big posters coming out for the cinema. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I'm going. I don't care how I get in, I'm going. And boy, it did not disappoint.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw it was in an open field with Robert and 2,000 fans.
And an
They'd put on
open field.
Yeah, they put on this thing called Camp Hack and Slash during the day, and then at night they were going to show the movie for the first time, I think. And they brought Robert and I in just at dusk, and had some wonderful barbecue, and then they showed the movie, and then we did the first Q&A that I ever did, um, out of character, and that was just a great way to see the movie. People were so excited to watch it, and it was just so much more fun to watch them being excited.
I actually found somebody popped it up, and I seen it on Facebook. The interview with yourself and Robert. I don't know who it's with, but like you don't say a word in it, but the
Yeah.
two of you are in character. And I was like, because I know we'd been talking back and forth before the con. I was like, oh, I have to send that to him. So I tried to download it. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't give me the rights to download it to send it
Oh,
to
no.
you. Uh,
Uh,
but
I
like
remember that.
okay, yeah,
We did like about 30 interviews in a row. They brought people in, and they were all short interviews, but we were supposed to do them in character, I remember. And
yeah.
it's always fun. Robert was way better at the talking anyway.
He's well. I mean, I don't think you could have got a better slasher with a better personality than he
Oh my
brought to the
God. I was
table.
so lucky to work with Robert, and because a few years later they tried a new Freddy, and
Yeah.
you know Robert himself will tell you the actor did a great job. It was just the fans really loved Robert, and it was just so hard to replace him for that. So I'm just so glad that we didn't make Freddy versus Jason with a different Freddy.
I mean, I know there was obviously not disrespect to you or to the cast and crew, but I know there was a lot of ifs and buts about it because Kane was taking a look at this. We have another
Yeah.
guest.
Yes, this is Max coming to
Oh,
say hello.
Matt.
I've got two.
Um,
The other one's a bit skittish, so she's hiding. But Max, he'll just make himself at home.
wouldn't be the first animal to make their way onto the show.
There you go.
um, but yeah, obviously the backlash that came because obviously Kane wasn't brought back. Now, again, nothing on you or anyone. Obviously, the fans were just glued to having Kane versus Robert.
Sure.
But I think this went down well.
Well, you know what? I mean, the first thing out of my mouth when they said, "Do you want to audition for Jason?" was, "What about Kane?" Because I thought I'd be working with him again. We had worked on number eight together, and I thought for sure he was coming back to do it. And then they said, "Oh, we just decided we're going to go in a different direction." And I know, of course, that caused a lot of issues with fans and stuff like that because they had gotten to know Kane so well, in the
Mm,
four movies that he had been in and stuff like that. And so there was a lot of pushback, I think, from particularly his fans, of course. But I mean, after four movies, he kind of established himself as the guy.
yeah, well,
About,
he's the most. He's
yes,
done the
yeah,
most, isn't he? Yeah. But
yeah,
like,
four. No, I worked on two different movies. I'm the only other guy that's ever worked on two, but he's done four. And that was over a course of how many years?
oh
And
yeah.
anyway, I can understand why people were surprised and disappointed that he didn't get to do it.
No, I like as I said, I know, but it was what it was, and you have to just take what you get. You know what I mean? And you said like good guys get good news at times, and you got it, and it bolstered you into the atmosphere.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you have to take what you get.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mm. And other than that, then you like if you didn't do that, maybe you don't get the convention runs, maybe you don't get the next part. It's the snowball effect, isn't it?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I think every actor has that movie that sort of gets them noticed, and
Yeah.
certainly Freddy versus Jason was that for me. I mean, nobody would have looked at, a stuntman twice, really. Um, so, yeah, I mean, so fortunate in so many ways, yeah. But I mean,
And
funny because when I talked to Kane about it, and I go, it was kind of lucky, and he goes, you know what, Ken? He goes, actually, I quoted this to him. I said, "Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Luck is what happens when opportunity meets preparation. Because if I hadn't had the big resume I had, if I hadn't worked on number eight, I might not have been considered for this. But, I'd done a lot of other suit jobs to sort of earn my bones, um, doing suit work, as I call it. Uh,
well, it
yeah,
is what it is. You have to do what
yeah,
you
yeah,
have to do.
exactly.
Um, and like I think obviously Jason and Michael both being predominantly played by. I know some people don't like the term being stuntmen behind the mask or whatever, but that's where that majority that they became famous, and that's where a lot of people kind of boasted from there. But like without even having that, like as I said, like you've been in one of my favorite franchises. I know we barely touched on it the last time with Wrong Turn.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love that Wrong Turn franchise. Like I watch it every year, every single year.
Well,
I
I mean,
fucking love it.
how many have they done now? What are they up to? I don't
In terms of the Hillikers, six.
so six of them. I thought maybe seven. Yeah, I worked on number two.
There is a reboot that
Yep.
came out in 2021, which is actually very good, but it's
Right.
not the Hilliker brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, is it Declan O'Brien?
he done three. Did he? He done three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no,
yeah.
he was my director on Joyride, on the Joyride that I did. I worked on Joyride 2 and 3, but I only worked on number three as playing Rusty Nail, but I worked on number two as Rusty Nail's stunt double. And
Nice.
Declan was the director on the one where I played Rusty Nail.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Joyride. The original Joyride was the one with Paul Walker, wasn't it?
Yes,
I'm
and it
pretty
was
sure.
it was more of a thriller than a horror movie. And then
Yeah.
the second one they made it more of a slasher than a thriller. And then the third one was just full on slasher.
See, I don't know if I've ever seen them because I always remember that original movie being called Roadkill. That's what it was called over here.
Oh, was it? Okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So when I seen then obviously Joyride 2 and 3, I was like, what? I was like, I'm not watching this. I can't find the first one, so I'm not gonna watch it. And it was around that was what? That was early 2000s ish.
Yeah. Well,
So obviously
I'll tell you what, if you like Declan's work on the wrong turns, you'll enjoy number three. He got so creative with the kills in the truck and virtually I think he just spent some time looking at a semi-trailer truck, looking at all the equipment that's on a truck and figuring out the best ways to kill people. The opening, I people love the opening of wrong Joyride 3.
but
Um,
you know what? I'll give the whole franchise a rewatch relatively
very
soon.
different. They're very different. The first one is much different than the third one.
Yeah,
Like I said, it goes from a psychological, more of a psychological thriller to a full-on slasher movie in number three.
nice. Well, see, like sometimes they're fun, and you do see that an awful lot. Like even when you take that wrong turn franchise, like the first one was a straight up kind of hillbilly slasher. The
Yeah.
second one became a bit more fun and not as dark. Maybe might be the right way of saying it. Obviously, they make it into like Survivor TV show, which I
Right.
absolutely loved.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was a brilliant idea and a great way of doing it.
Yeah.
And some of the kills in it were brilliant. But
Yeah.
obviously, you play Paw in that one,
Yes. I called him Uncle Paw.
Uncle Paw. Okay. Um, and like it's actually probably my third favorite in the whole franchise. Um, and it's very close to being the second. Obviously, the original one is like for me number one, and then I flip flop between 4 and 2 because I do love Henry Rollins as well,
Yeah.
and his character is badass. But like Dead End was really good. A second entry into the franchise. It's like how did you get involved into that one? Because obviously
In
you're not behind the mask in this one. You're not in some prosthetics, but
in the Wrong Turn franchise,
yeah,
Joe Lynch was the director. And do you know Joe Lynch? Joe's
I
been
do.
sort of involved in the horror business one way or another as a reporter, as a videographer, and then he got the directing job on Wrong Turn. Sorry, Joy, Wrong Turn 2. So he was the director on Wrong Turn 2. He had really loved Freddy versus Jason, and they were coming to Vancouver to shoot it. So he had asked for me to play Paw. So
Nice.
yeah, so I got it through Joe.
Yeah, you were really physical in that one now. Um, with some of the kills,
Yeah, yeah, it
take,
was a fun
take,
part to
taking
play.
no shit.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I
yeah,
will say, like, I watched all them with my missus, and she was sitting there, and she's like, "What is going on?"
yeah,
And I said it to her. I was like, I know that guy. I had him on my show." And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yep, he's been on my show."
yeah, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't know I even worked on that.
Yeah,
Of course, they're not going to recognize me through all the makeup, but
I think you look. I think you look the same.
yeah,
A few more teeth this time, though.
yeah, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Um, but like obviously another well loved franchise in the horror community is Wrong Turn. I know you mentioned Joyride as well. As I said, I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything about it. I know I heard you on the panel at For the Love of Horror saying that that's a character you'd love to play again.
I would.
Um,
Yeah, I'd like to play Rusty Nail again.
so I will. I'll watch that now over the next couple of days, and I'll get back to you and let you know.
Sure, that'd be great.
Um, I'm just looking through here though. Like you were in Hot Rod.
Yeah, yeah. There's a scene in Hot Rod where he is going downhill on a skateboard and he ends up running into a motorhome that's parked in my driveway. And I hear the crash and I come out of the house swearing at him, who the fuck did that? And Brad, is it Brad McBride? Comes
Danny McBride.
Yeah, he comes up and he kicks me in the nuts. And for some reason I get kicked in
That's
the nuts.
you.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, nice. I didn't know where you were. I've seen the film a couple of times and I remember that scene, but I didn't know that part was you.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Hmm.
me.
You should have punched him in the face.
Yeah,
um, like I just look at that, like Stan Helsing. I remember seeing that as well in the cinema.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
one of the best parody movies.
We did it. We did we did a little dance number in that one. I remember rehearsing. We had to rehearse dancing to YMCA for that.
Jeez, I
Have you
haven't
ever
seen it.
have you ever
I
seen
haven't
Reefer
seen
Madness? The not the original Reefer Madness, but Reefer Madness. It came out probably about 16, 17 years now. But
Reefer Madness.
yeah, Reefer Madness. It was it was a musical, and I actually played two parts in it. I played a zombie football player, and I played a Secret Service agent, and I get kicked in the nuts in that as well. Uh,
Is that the one with Nev Campbell?
I don't remember Nev being in it. It
Okay,
was
then, then that's a different one.
names are
Reefer
slipping
Madness.
my mind, but if you Google it, you'll find it, I'm sure.
Um, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the other one either that had Nev Campbell in it. But I'll have a look and find it. Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that now as an actor being kicked in the balls.
It's
Uh,
there's ways to protect yourself, but
yeah, cups and they still hurt.
yeah. Well, what we use is like a crotch strap. So it's a you basically put stirrups on. And imagine a strap, and then you
Yeah.
put stirrups on either end, and you put your feet through the stirrups, and then you shorten it so that it's so if somebody kicks you, they can't kick any farther than the strap in your crotch.
Oh, okay. So it's like a bar going across your trousers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's all
I liken
right.
it to sitting in a to be like the stirrups of a saddle, and they're kicking the saddle instead
Still,
of
still wouldn't like to take the chance.
it's a tricky thing.
Yeah, no, thank you. I will stay safe.
Yeah.
uh, I'm just looking through the catalog you have is phenomenal. Bad Moon as well.
And nobody
Uh,
knows that I played the werewolf in Bad Moon.
I fucking love werewolf movies.
That was the worst costume I ever wore. That was the hardest costume I ever wore because they had to make it super tight, and had to be made out of this rubber that would stand up to real attack dogs biting me. And so it didn't breathe at all. And I was looking out the mouth with a piece of black mesh over it. And when the mouth closed, I couldn't see, and it drooled. So if I looked up, the drool would run back over this piece
Ugh.
of mesh, and you'd lose your vision and stuff like that. But it was I did so many days in that costume. It was like rotting on the inside from all the sweat. Because I would drink water and Gatorade all day, and I never had to pee. Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's the man himself.
yeah, that was it.
It's actually a badass looking werewolf, though. To be fair, compared to
Oh,
some of them.
Steve Johnson designed that. I don't know if you know who he is, but he was a pretty well-known. Uh, uh, he did Anaconda and a few other movies. I'm sure you'd know.
Sure, he sure did. I actually tried to watch Anaconda with my young lad tonight.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
only 9. He's starting to get into horror films.
Well, there's a
Uh,
new one coming out, right? A new Anaconda movie coming out.
there's actually two of them. There's one called Anacondas that's coming out the end of November.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure it's being made by Marcel Waltz, I think his name is. He done that Brute 1976, which was unreal if you haven't seen it.
Mhm.
Or he has something to do with it because I've seen him sharing it out. And then you've got the Jack Black one that's coming out at the end of the
That's the
year.
one I've seen the ads for. Yeah,
Yeah,
that looks.
Jack Black and Paul Rudd looks like comedy gold.
Yeah, I know it looks good.
I'm not sold on it because I actually wanted it to be more of a dark horror one, but I'm gonna watch it because Jack Black and Paul Rudd are in it.
I
um,
think I'll enjoy it because they're in it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Steve Johnson's is phenomenal. The designs he done for everything.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he did a great job. I remember I had to go down to LA 3 times, 3 different times to get fitted for that werewolf suit. They did a full body casting, and the thing about it is they cast me with the werewolf in kind of a hunch, like in a pose. And so all day long, that suit wanted to drag me in, and because they made it so tight, it wanted to drag me into that pose. So it was hard on my back and super claustrophobic. And I mean, I wasn't when I started the job, but I had to fight it by the end because I remember doing a scene where I was chained to the tree and I was really exerting myself. And you start breathing hard, then you start convincing yourself that you're not getting air. And
Oh
then
yeah.
but you have to rationalize it and tell yourself, hey, yeah, I can breathe and everything's fine and I'm just going to go to my happy place. And they used to call me the sad wolf because I would just sit there and I wouldn't move. I would just be my mind would be someplace else, and I because I'd be stuck in that suit for hours. And yeah, I remember they always would put me in it early and take me out late, and
Oh no.
I wish I had asked for more money because that was literally the hardest job I ever did was wearing that werewolf suit.
I mean, like obviously everyone will go, "Oh, well, that's the job of the guy in the suit."
Yeah.
And I was listening to Doug Jones when he done his panel, and he was saying it like sometimes it's just hard work. Like you don't think it's that bad. Like you mightn't have to do much, but the six
Yeah.
hours you've spent getting into it now, maybe not getting into a costume in 6 hours, but like I couldn't imagine getting into something that's tight, restricting, and then bending you over at the same time.
Just like it was just where I remember, coming to work in the mornings and okay, Ken, time to get the suit on. And just this cold, clammy thing, climbing into it and covering yourself with baby powder so you can actually get it on and
I was like, that was it.
that cakes up inside and stuff. And yeah, it was just a real process, a real, something I really had to wrap my head around doing every day.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that as a werewolf movie. It's up there in the higher echelons of werewolf movies for me.
I'm surprised when,
Um,
when I see it on YouTube, it gets, it's like consistently in the top 5 or 10 werewolves that people like. And
I mean, when you look at it though, like obviously it's great to be in there, and there's hundreds and hundreds of werewolf movies, but it's very hard to do it well. But this one they've done quite a good job with it.
yes, yeah, they did. The only thing we changed from the original design was that Steve wanted me to wear these they're kind of like short stilts to make the legs of the werewolf look more dog-like. But
Oh
I,
yeah,
yeah, but I couldn't run in it. I couldn't fight the dogs in it. So we pared that down, unfortunately.
yeah. I seen one recently, a werewolf movie there where the werewolf looks unbelievable. It's all a costume, all prosthetics, and you see it walking and it looks great, and then it zooms out for a couple of minutes and you see it walking, and you can tell it just looks like someone. Joe, if a girl's really drunk on really high heels walking, it's like that, and I was like, oh, just don't shoot from the knee down.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, But I mean to say, werewolf movies are great. Even the bad ones are fun. Um,
yeah.
but when you actually have the person in the suit and it's not just a CGI one, it's even better.
Well, people, I mean, real horror fans want you to use CGI as little as possible, I think. They want
Fact.
practical as much as possible, and which is great. I think that doing CG work should only complement whatever it is you're shooting. There's just things you can do to people or that you can't do to people. At CG you can. I think about like the certain car hits where you're hit by this car, bounce off that car, hit another car. A little tough to do with wires and a real person kind of thing, but CG, you start and finish it with the real person, and in the middle you use CG. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, like I don't mind CG. I just don't like when it's all CG all the time. Like
Exactly.
I remember having a conversation with somebody about actually funny that we mentioned Anaconda earlier. and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's CG," and I says, "That's not all CG." I said, "That's an actual animatronic snake," and they're like, "No, it's not," and I was like, "It is. It's in one of the museums." I says, "It's like 20 feet long or something. It's in the museum." And they're like,
Well,
"That some of the looks of terror is because the machine didn't work properly and they didn't know where it was going."
yeah. Well, I remember that they were building stuff for Anaconda while they were making the werewolf costume.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, yeah. So I got to see some of the stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, Steve did a great job.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the best in the business, really. At one stage.
Yeah, yeah, he really
Uh,
was.
well, even still, like name value wise, he would be. I would put him up that way anyway.
Yeah. People still know that name, you know.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is he still alive?
Yes, I'm sure he's still alive. It's been a while since I've seen him. I saw him at a convention a few years back.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, he's not doing much now, though.
yeah, I haven't heard much about him since.
Well, we don't know. I can't confirm nor deny if he's alive or not, but he's still, in terms of name value, right up there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like there's certain names when you look at it, and obviously the big names, and then there's obviously the Tom Savinis and stuff are kind of just well known, and then any movie fan will know the rest of the names.
Yeah,
Where if I went to my dad and said Steve Johnson, he'd be like, "Who?" He'd be like,
yeah,
"Oh, that was a golfer."
yeah, yeah.
But no, I don't know. Have you got much plans coming up, or are you still
No,
on a little bit
I'm
of a
kind
hiatus?
of, I'll see what comes along. I get offered the odd job, but usually they're down in the States and they don't realize I'm Canadian, and it costs more to bring me down there to work and stuff. So they don't usually pan out. But um, I'm just enjoying, when you work in the film business, like I put 30 solid years into the film business. That's like 45 years for somebody else because of all the hours we do. I
Yeah,
mean,
and the lack of sleep and the injuries and
exactly. It all adds up, and I still love the business. I want to be more creative, so I'm writing scripts these days, and I enjoy that aspect of it, being creative. And if somebody has a role for me, uh, I'm certainly willing to look at it. But I want to see the world now. I spent my youth from my early 20s, up to 50, working full time in a business that if you take some time off, they'll forget who you are. So, it was a great run, and I've had a great time working in the business, and I want to keep doing it. I just want to do the things that I want to do,
do
versus
it on your time.
exactly, yeah.
I mean, so then we'll touch on the conventions then just before we finish up because I don't want to hold you all afternoon or evening time now. So obviously you were over at For the Love of Horror. I was over myself. Um, amazing con. But you looked busy all day.
It was the fans there are really strong. It was a really great convention, and well worth coming over to Europe to participate in. And I just want to tie these in with other trips because it was a 2 day convention
It
essentially,
was,
and
it was a
but
long day, 2 days.
yeah, but with travel and everything, it's longer. So it's nice to be able to incorporate like a stop off in Iceland to experience a bit of the world and to see what's out there, which is what I want to do more of in the future. Tie these conventions in with seeing parts of the world I haven't been to and meeting fans I haven't met yet, and it seems like it's just growing. Like the last few years have been really amazing. It's like people are sort of discovering, they knew me as Jason, but they're starting to know me for other things and other projects and stuff, and which is great. So, and I love meeting the fans. It's so much fun for me to get out there
Now,
because
now what we need,
I'm
now
not
what we
on.
need.
Yeah,
You're not. Yeah, you're not. I was going to say you're not on social media, so you don't see a whole lot of
yeah,
um of it.
I,
But we'd love to get you over to the Dublin Horrorcon. It literally just ended this weekend. So maybe in the future, hopefully you can be a guest at that.
well, I'd love to work it in. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously this year this was their first year, and they had David Howard Thornton and stuff over at it. Met
Oh
Derek
wow.
Mears.
Derek's a great
Derek,
guy. Yeah.
he's a big man.
He is. You know what? He's a real sweetheart of a guy too. But yeah, I really enjoyed meeting him, and I really enjoyed. We got to spend time at a convention once. We hung out and really got to know each other much better and stuff. And you know, he's more of an actor than a stuntman, and which was great. I went to one of his improv shows. He had a troupe of improv players, and I got to watch and actually participated a little. But no, you know, we got a nice little brotherhood of Jasons, and love to see each other. Yeah.
No, so we had a table at the convention on the Saturday to promote the podcast and whatnot. So shout out to Dublin HorrorCon for letting us do that. But he was walking by. I just happened to say hello, but he took the time to stop, come over, shake my hand, and then talk to me for literally like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Like he didn't have to. He could have just waved and walked on. So I mean,
yeah,
he's a nice guy.
he's
But
a very nice guy.
yeah, it'd be great if you could get over to Dublin HorrorCon. We might get that pint we were talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that would be good. Yeah. I'd love to do it. Love to go to Dublin.
Uh, but as I said, have you got any more conventions coming up you'd like to throw out, or?
I'm doing Steel City Comic Con, and I am doing, oh my God, I'm blanking on it right now.
Oh, I put the pressure on.
Yeah, yeah. This happens to me sometimes. I just it's when I stop thinking about it, I'll remember. But anyway, I've got two more conventions, both in the States this year.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, it's been a good year for that. Here's Max again. Hello,
Is he
Max.
going to the convention?
No, he doesn't go to the conventions. No, he's a homebody.
You should bring him to the conventions. He'd make all the money.
Yes, people love Max. He's a Maine
Yeah,
Coon. Well, he's mostly Maine Coon. He doesn't have the little tufts on the ears, but they're like the golden retrievers of cats. He's very dog-like. He follows you around. He's chatty and he's got
yeah.
just got a great personality.
I'm not a cat guy. My
No,
animals would have scales.
yes.
Yeah, I was a
Well,
reptile guy.
well, that's fine too. I think pets are wonderful no matter what they are, you know.
No, I don't have any now, but my young lad's like, "Can I get a lizard? Can I get a snake?" I was like, "No, not right now.
Right.
Maybe in a few years, but maybe in a
Yeah,
few years."
there you go.
But again, I'm conscious of time because I don't want to keep you all evening either.
Well, very
And I know you just came off another one.
well, great.
So
Great to chat to you again, and I'm glad we finally got to it. And
yeah. Oh, listen, it just time is the enemy.
yeah, well, shoot me an email when you after you watch Joyride
Joyride
3.
3.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
me know what you think about it.
It's real weird actually when you say shoot me an email. I'm like, yeah, usually that means a message on one of the social medias, but it's legit email.
Legit
Yeah.
email. Yeah,
But Ken, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day again to come on.
very welcome.
Um,
I'm sorry it took so long.
no, listen, as I said, it's absolutely fine. It's on your time, not mine. I'll just make the time to be here.
Enjoy the
Um,
rest of the Yeah,
I'm going to bed. But Ken, I appreciate you. And keep up the good work, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
thank you very much.
But
You take
folks, what I'll do is I'll finish this the way I finish every single Friday night. In the words of the great George A. Romero, ladies and gentlemen, stay scared.